Everybody, salute the flag.
Oh, right hand? Right
Because
hand?
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died. Okay, are you going to take that, or are you just going to let it ring through the national anthem? That sucks. And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
Together we are.
Ryan, John.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the groom.
To the groom.
To the groom.
To the bride.
Exactly.
Joining us this week on the pod, in the booth, my lovely wife, Cara Tafolla.
America.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Who was saying that?
America.
You great
I don't
unfinished symphony you've sent for me. Joining us again this week. Back in the booth. After a long hiatus, it's Annie the Skovmand, everybody. Give it up for Annie.
Annie. Annie.
Yeah.
Back again from her world tour.
Yeah, this
Cheers.
is going to ruin the world tour.
This is going to ruin the world tour.
This is
Dang.
gonna ruin the world tour.
Yeah, I'm in a wacky, silly, goofy mood. I'm glad to be back with my friends.
Aw.
Guys, in case you missed it, we've been out. We haven't really. You've been watching the podcast normal time,
we fooled you.
Okay.
but we fooled you. Yeah, John's been out of town. Annie had a side quest. We were out of town.
You had a side quest. Where'd you
No,
go?
I just
No, she was doing all
Just
kinds of
work.
stuff. Yeah. What's it? Sorry, her job. She's been doing her job.
She's been working.
We've been vacationing, and she's been working. That's right. Yeah,
right.
that's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
But I'm glad to be back here in the booth to talk about stuff and things. Happy
Yes.
4th of July weekend.
Come on.
As you can tell from our attire, we're very patriotic around here.
Big
Red, white, and
250.
blue. Did you ever?
I'll say I didn't understand why you were wearing the hat, Cara.
It's
And
red,
now I
white, and
understand.
blue.
It's red, white, and blue.
When you walked in with us, I was like, okay.
Okay,
all
Hawaii.
right, all
Hawaii is
right.
part of America,
Reluctantly.
whether you like it or
Reluctantly.
not.
Oh my God,
gosh,
Cara.
jeez.
Read the room.
Whether you like it or not, Hawaii, you're part of us.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
They had no choice.
Did you guys ever have like a lesson in school where you learned about like what the colors of the flag meant? Did you ever have like a
No.
flag day? You never did that?
I'm sure we did. I don't
well,
remember
the stars are the states.
Yeah, great. The 50 states.
The red stripes represented like
Blood war,
bloodshed.
yeah.
Okay, very good.
White
Very
is
good.
the purity.
Courage.
I don't know.
White, I don't remember. Yeah, I guess not purity, right? Liberty. And then blue is like the pursuit of happiness, maybe? I don't know.
Does it even matter?
The stripes represent the 13 colonies,
Yeah.
original colonies.
Come
I
on.
believe.
But then it wasn't originally the stars were the 13 colonies.
Freedom, unity, and national pride.
And then they
Ugh.
revamped.
13 alternating red and white stripes represent the original colonies.
Yes.
50 white stars represent 50 states.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
But that's
kinda
new.
it.
Yeah,
And
there
they
used
just
to
like
be.
the colors.
um,
It's what Betsy had.
like a
in
lot
her-
of things in this country, it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
We figured it out later.
White is purity and innocence. Red is hardiness and valor. The blue is vigilance, perseverance, and justice.
Okay, so maybe we should alter the flag to mean something else now.
Proudly stand
I think in
up.
terms of purity, this country isn't
Next
exactly
year.
a leader anymore. But hey,
It's just a good place. It's just a good day for some grills and some chills, really.
grills and chills. And
Yeah.
I saw a
you think
post
about
that
it.
was crazy, and it was like this. For some people, this is the last week with all 10 of their fingers.
Oh, yo.
They're gonna blow them off,
Oh.
doing some
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
fireworks,
Is that gonna be you?
spectacular.
Is that gonna be you?
Well,
No,
everyone's
no,
had
no,
a fireworks scare.
Go ahead.
Everyone?
Yeah.
You had a big fireworks scare
We
recently?
actually always had fireworks scares.
Yeah.
We did fireworks at New Year's down the desert. Not
Sure.
so much 4th of July. And they would always fall, and they would shoot off towards the motorhomes and towards the people and
Yeah.
fly into the sky.
That did happen at my house one year.
Yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
we did the sky lanterns. The sky lanterns would land on the motorhome, and then people would try to get on top before their motorhome burned down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
That,
Yeah.
that
Incredibly
feels like a
fun.
desert
What the heck
thing.
is a sky lantern?
You know, like Rapunzel,
Rapunzel.
Entangled.
The
fire-
last I
And they
see
fell?
the
Well, they go up,
Burned
and then they go
fall.
down.
Well,
and
it's
then
not
they
Disney.
On fire.
It's not Disney, of course.
You try you, and then sometimes you'd hold them over
They
the
don't
big
actually
fire.
make it to space.
You hold them in the
not.
big fire, and they go. Whoosh,
No,
and
I
they
thought
fly off
they.
'cause the heat,
I
like,
thought they disintegrated.
Whoa.
No, they
those
burn
newer
up
ones?
eventually. They burn up eventually, and then the wire frame and the,
Oh, the frame.
kerosene like
Very
chunk
hot. Yeah.
stay.
The
Got it.
kerosene chunk comes
Got
flying
it.
down.
Yeah.
Did you ever sing the song when you did it? And Scooby-Doo, we see the
No.
light.
No, she wasn't a theater kid. She was in the
No.
obscure theater world.
No,
Right.
no.
You
Usually
sing a
people
song,
were-
couple of
no,
bars
by
from
the
the
time
Birds,
that
maybe.
Was happening, by the time,
Birds.
first of all, the Bird was a play.
Aida.
There was some spoken word parts, though. Maybe you were.
No.
We are the birds,
by
here
the
to
time-
burn
by the
the
time-
lanterns.
The sky lanterns happened.
Right.
Everyone was so drunk that it was really
No
more of a
kidding.
hazard. Oh yeah, by
No
the time
kidding.
the fireworks happened too, and every year we've lit it from the bottom, which then it burnt all the support systems. And it was always like, why don't we burn it from the top? But you know what?
Fire
That's
goes
kid
up, though.
logic. That's not drunk
No,
adult
that's
logic.
the kind of logic this country needs right now.
True.
Annie. Why are
Yeah.
we burning it from the bottom?
And then my grandfather would like put the whatever he built to burn, he would like put Duraflame logs in it too,
Sure.
so that it burned for longer.
You don't see these much these days, but did you ever go to a pallet bonfire?
Yeah.
Love a good pallet bonfire. You ever see a stack of pallets completely on fire, John?
No, I
like 10
haven't.
or 12 pallets.
Intense heat, though, huh?
When you're-
One of the scariest things I've ever witnessed is just
when
like
did you go to
massive
one?
fire. They used to do them all the time, like down at Mission, South
Summertime.
Mission. You go down to South Mission in the middle of the summer, you're guaranteed to see a
Wow.
big pallet fire. Yeah.
One time a guy, he lit his whole couch on fire in his backyard, and that was
Really?
crazy.
That guy's name? Dan Albright.
No, it wasn't
Yeah,
my
but
my
Dan-
dad. My dad's afraid of fire. He would never do
Really?
that.
Not a fire
Afraid
guy?
of fire, huh?
Yeah, he's like every time we do bonfires growing up, he stays up until it burns out entirely, or until it's
Oh,
safe
yeah.
to pour water on, because he'll say this isn't true, but it is. When he was a kid, his dad stuck a whole Christmas tree into the fire pit
Oh.
and was trying to like shove it up there, and it didn't go, and then the fire like
Shot
basically
out.
came out to where the tree was sticking out, and it really made an impression on my dad.
Oh my
I
god.
So now my
would.
dad does not like he wouldn't let us have candles in our room when we were growing up.
We weren't
He
allowed
does
to have
not.
candles in our rooms either.
Oh. We had candles.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh.
We
I had some candles.
Well, Jim doesn't like candles because they leave the smoke leaves a residue in the walls.
That is true.
You gotta
And
clean
so
that.
that's what
You
he's
gotta
like.
clean
He's like, I don't like that.
Big
The
clean
soot.
guy.
The
that.
soot.
I love Jim. I
He's
gotta
a
see him
big
soon.
clean guy. Yeah, he loves clean.
I gotta see that.
I
guy
haven't
soon.
seen Jim in a minute.
Oh, he's
I
been
know.
on a side quest. He went on an true American road trip.
That's what I
Really?
He went
heard.
to, oh yeah, he went to South Dakota. They went to Mount Rushmore. Did a
Oh.
helicopter tour around Mount Rushmore.
A
Who is that
helicopter
guy?
tour
I know.
of
And
Mount
They
Rushmore.
did end up going up in a helicopter.
Oh yeah, they did. They both did. Jim unimpressed. He was like,
Which is
Okay.
crazy because he's a huge Kobe fan. So I'm surprised that like
My
just
my sister sent me the craziest text. Aaron, if you're listening to this, you're an icon.
You're an icon.
I'm gonna I'm gonna print out a T-shirt. She texts me. Our parents send me a picture, and my mom's in a helicopter.
Yeah.
In true Jim and Robbie fashion, they didn't like. They told us like their itinerary so long ago that like we didn't read it. So I don't know what
You
they're
definitely
doing.
never read it.
And
So
so it's
messed
like
up.
we're here now, and I'm like. And so she sends a picture, and we're like, "You're in a helicopter." Aaron automatically texts me on the side, and she goes,
they should not be. In
if a helicopter's not safe enough for Kobe Bryant, it's not safe enough for our parents. And I responded, LOL, because that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
LOL.
How many
You-
times have we heard of a
What?
helicopter going down with a regular civilian though? It's only
you never hear
celebrities.
about
Well,
it.
because they're not advertising that because they big helicopter of it all, you know.
I think it's more like normal people don't go in helicopters all that often.
That's true. That's true.
Celebrities be going in helicopters.
Yeah.
I think that we know the percentages of dying in that kind of thing is really small, but I do think it happens. You know?
oh,
it's
I
there.
think
It's
you're
like-
way more likely to die in a helicopter than a plane.
Yeah, I don't know the statistics on helicopters. I know planes is pretty low.
At least
though, right?
six times more,
Six
maybe
times
seven.
what, 6, 7.
That's one of the true
Miss
great
you guys.
American.
6'7"?
Yeah.
Is that still rolling? Are
Yeah,
the young people
it
still
is
doing
with me.
6'7"?
Yes.
It is with me.
Oh yeah.
I
in
think
the
when
same way that I
think
still
when-
ask people what the 411 is.
Here's the deal, guys.
That's
I think
completely
we're
different.
at the age now. If we're using it,
It's done.
No.
they're not using it anymore.
No, think about in Hawaii. We heard so many kids saying.
There was a
6'7".
lot of 6'7" going.
But I think
on.
there's a disparity in
it
the sense that
comes
like I
late
think
to
the
the
young
island.
kids will do it for a lot longer, but I think the cool teens they've dropped it entirely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool
Oh
teens.
yeah, they've moved on to the unk of it all.
Oh no,
on.
you are the
He's
unk of it all.
We are
Unfortunately.
we are all
Because
the young
we're
of it all.
using
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
You know,
Ugh.
beautiful life.
Wow.
Rise up. You spent
Next
some
to
time
you.
abroad right before
Yes.
America's birthday.
Yes.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk about this.
And-
John went on an extensive 2 week. What was it? 15 days you were gone.
Yeah, I was gone probably 14 or 15. Yeah, the trip itself was 13, I think.
Ein Trip de Germany.
Day.
Yes.
Das gut Trip in Germany.
Austria. It was the best of Germany and Austria.
Sure. Give me just jump right into it, John.
I don't
Did
wanna
you
spend a
love
lot of
it?
time
Did you
on
hate it?
this.
I want to spend a good amount of time.
I
on
liked it.
We'll
All right.
we'll dive deeper on the post show.
Yeah, I liked
If
it.
you
But
want
I
to hear
Guys,
about
this is
Germany,
the show. This is
is the show,
definitely
guys.
it for sure.
I liked it. I was telling Annie a little bit of the highlights. I'll just some 3 standout things that I saw. Obviously,
That'd be great. Thank you.
like, and talk about the 250 of it all. I was telling everyone I've been talking to, I'm like, it's hilarious that we're like America's, and I get it. We're making this huge. I feel like I've heard a lot of big buzz about the big 250, right? And then like literally 2 weeks ago, I was standing in a city that was around in the 1300s.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
it's crazy.
Oh, probably longer.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that part was like, there's so much history, and there's like, it's like, it kind of makes America look dumb, like in a lot of ways, obviously.
Not hard to do.
But not hard to do these days. But also, I was like, it was just kind of funny because I'm like, these cities have been around for centuries, and there's so much like culture and like just history, and really cool.
Well, I think it says something because people always talk about, they're like, oh, America knows so much about America.
Yep.
But part of it is because our history is so much smaller that like
Yeah.
we can segment it into all of your school years.
Yeah, you
Sure.
can learn
you
it
can
all.
you can learn all of it. If you have a country that's been around since,
I mean, you could. Yeah, sure. I feel like we harped on the same stuff every year.
Yeah,
Am I right? But
true.
Well, yeah, things were hidden from us.
oh yeah, totally. Our
It
checkered
makes-
past.
It makes it makes you wonder, like, what in these countries are they hiding? Because
Oh.
I'm like, if we're as a country, if we're hiding at
So
250,
many things under cobblestones.
people that live in these
literal
like
people under
literally
cobblestone.
like 800, 900, like long time
Yeah.
standing. I'm like, what are they hiding? You
They
know
were
what I'm saying?
eating people and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. People were
For
eating
sure.
people left and
they went through a
right.
lot.
Top 3 from Germany, John. Go ahead.
Top 3, like places I went to.
Just your big 3, like memorable moments,
I mean,
or
there's
like
a lot of
food
history.
that you ate, drinks that you had.
I'll give you a little high level
Moments
of all
you
those
shared.
things. I think there's a lot of history, and I really could spend a lot of time talking about what I learned just about in Germany and Austria, and how insane it was. And I won't spend too much time on it. Obviously, we went to Eagle's Nest, which is like the only existing structure that they know Hitler visited multiple times. And that was weird because there's like one entrance and one exit. And so they're like, we're going up in this tiny like 10-person elevator. And they're like, yeah, no, like Hitler had to take this elevator. Like you're like, that was weird to me, like, but also kind of fascinating that like,
Yeah, you really liked it, sicko.
no,
Is that where he eventually killed himself?
No, that's a bunker. The bunker,
The
you
bunker.
can't, the bunker doesn't exist anymore.
Parking
Oh.
lot.
They put a parking lot on it.
No kidding. That's
Yeah,
why.
they said we're
Good call.
erasing this.
That's
Good
good.
Yeah, they literally said like and that was the thing about Germany is there's always this like dichotomy of like they think it's important to remember, but they also don't want to like
Celebrate it.
No.
celebrate this,
Or
this
note it,
awful time
even.
of Hitler's reign,
Sure.
basically.
Yeah, they didn't want to like embody it.
and
so.
but at the same time, like they're very like I was telling Annie, you can tell they still are like kind of regretful of their involvement. Like even to this day,
Sure.
Berlin and I think that's why Berlin is so progressive in the way that like they're really adaptive and open to new ideas, because I think they're so fearful that the Holocaust that nobody spoke up, and that was the problem,
Wow.
right? And so now they're a lot more like intentional about, hey, we're going to speak up for what we don't think is right because we don't want to get caught in another version of not speaking up when it mattered, you know? And
Sure.
and our guide even told us like Berlin and all these cities are still very much like reflecting on that and feel really embarrassed by like their involvement in
Wow.
it, which is really interesting because you think
Sure.
about it, it happened like what 70 years ago. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, but they're still atoning for that. The other big thing that I liked was the just the eco like involvement and thought process. They're very eco-minded. Like
Sure.
they're very like a lot of glass, not a lot of plastic, and also they're just like they're a lot more like ahead of the curve on like understanding we get one planet.
Sure.
And like that and that is another thing that you talk about highlighted in America. I'm like, America, we have like almost no consideration for that, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I'm like,
I agree.
And I think that's like it caused me to we went to this it's like a high standard eco farm where basically they grow their own food, they're organic, and they're sustainable, and they like think of ways that they can. Everything they do is they're thinking about how they can reuse and be low waste, and I thought that was really cool. And the family's a 5th generation farm, and the daughter's running it currently at the moment. And she like went off and had a career, and she's like, after 10 years of being in like the corporate world, she's like, I had to come back and carry on my family's legacy, which was really cool. Really cool farm. They had 250 chickens. It was like insane, and it's evolved over the years. Like they used to be a primarily like cattle meat, and now they're kind of more growing vegetables, and so that was cool. And I think also like. I'm going back here like, man, I mean, I've always tried in my head to be a little more like not wasteful, you know, try not to use single-use plastics, but like they are doing it at such a universal level over there. And even the caps on the bottles don't come off. You unscrew them and they just basically stay on the top of the bottle.
You guys had that, didn't you?
I hate those bottles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had that throughout Europe. They had that.
yeah.
Like,
Cool.
I had that in Italy. Did you have the horrible water? Did they have the like weird mineral water?
Yes. Yeah.
The one that like it literally tastes like sewer water. And you're like, what is this? They're like, it's minerals. It's good.
Oh, we didn't have
And
that.
I'm like,
we just got the big A.
We had it on on the plane, but that was the other thing too. The water quality is so much better out there. It's like like literally they were telling us, and most of these studios are like, oh, just fill up your water bottle out of the tap, and we're like, what?
The tap.
But genuinely, it's like, and I was telling somebody at work, I'm like, I feel like I came back and like my hair feels better, my skin feels better, and I'm like, I wasn't thinking about it actively out there, but I'm like. Yeah, and the thing out here is like, you know, your water. It's like
hard water.
Hard water.
Oh
And you
my
also
gosh.
live in, especially out here where you live, it's extremely dry climate.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So that was kind of interesting to me. Like, I really was inspired by like how eco-minded they are, and just like, and it really does feel like they are trying to think about that kind of stuff and actively make, you know, a way towards that. Even on the plane, they're like, if you can reuse your cup, we would appreciate it. But they don't like make you, but. And yeah, that was kind of interesting. I thought that was cool. The history of that, and then the food. Lots of bratwurst, lots of sausage, obviously. Lots of pretzels. They don't heat up the pretzels out there, which is
Cold pretzel.
Yeah,
Pretzel?
yeah, they served it. They served it straight up, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't heat it up. Like, we'll heat it up for you if you want." Well, you know, okay, whatever.
Little dipping mustard, or
mustard, all that stuff.
I love a soft pretzel with mustard.
They had this very specific dish that I didn't know existed. It's obviously in bratwurst, but it's called currywurst. So it's a cut up bratwurst and like dipped in a curry sauce with French fries.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
The best. I had that.
Mm.
And what's crazy is like, it's kind of like a gas station food for them. Like like at all the truck stops they had it,
It's
but
like
they
a
also
sausage
had
roll
it.
where you're like, why
Yeah,
are you doing
they also had it, but it was like so good.
Do you
Bobby and I-
have Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah. We had it. We like the way the trip was designed is like they basically make like there's a dinner that's set, which means like you just get what you get unless you're gluten free or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so of course we had Wiener Schnitzel and all that stuff, and it was really bomb. I liked all the food. I thought it was good. I mean, it goes back to like I feel like it was kind of fresher. I felt like maybe rose-colored glasses or whatever.
Sure.
But I think you know the whole experience food-wise was cool. The beer was really good. Like we got there. My brother's a big beer guy. That's the other thing about Germany is a lot of it. There's no hard alcohol. It's either beer. It's a lot of beer and wine. Okay. I don't drink beer and wine normally, but I was like, you know what? For this trip, I'm gonna like commit to drinking.
beer guy,
right?
Yeah.
And so and my brother got a beers, and that's the only. It feels like everywhere we went, my brother just said beer, and there was no like, well, what kind of beer? Well, what it was just
Give
like,
me a
no,
beer.
this is the beer, and so, and there's only like 3 or 4 main manufacturers of beer out there, so they kind of know like what you want, but it comes with like all this foam. My brother's like, oh man, there's all this foam, and our tour guide's like, no, that's how you know it doesn't have preservatives is by the big foam head on it.
Really?
He's like, your beers in America don't have that because they like fill it full with a bunch of
Longer
preservatives.
shelf life, maybe.
Longer shelf life, right?
Interesting.
And so that was interesting because then you started to go, oh, the foam's not so bad. 'Cause,
Right.
you know, it's
Is
like
that,
better for you.
okay, I'm not saying that's not true. That
I was
probably
gonna
is
say,
true.
is that propaganda?
Is
Because
that
they're
like,
pouring it wrong.
Is that like you
Big
dumb
beer.
Americans will believe anything? Yeah. Oh, that's because it's.
I don't think so
you-
because we watched them pour it, and they're doing like the normal method. It just has like a
Stabilize. Maybe it's
I
like
thought the same thing.
stabilizers or.
You know, because I would hear that and come with the German accent from a guy serving me the beer. I'd be like, obviously that's true.
Well, yes, of course.
This was our tour guide, so I don't
Sure.
think that he was trying to fool
That was
us.
Hans. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. The Berlin Wall was incredible. I mean, just like
Hans Mozart.
seeing they have this kind of preserved section of the wall and how it was, and you walk around it, and you just like, and you start to just hear the stories of people who like were on the East Berlin side and just like really yearning for the ability to go to the West Berlin, which in a lot of ways was freedom for them. And it's interesting that coming off of like right off of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Was not right off, but coming out of that pretty quickly and into that kind of phase was a lot for people. And then we went to Dachau, which was one of the first concentration camps, and I found out that like concentration camps, really the bulk of them were labor camps. They weren't extermination camps. There were a lot of extermination camps, and they did obviously kill 6 million Jews.
There was it was like the main like 5 extermination camps, right? There was like a certain amount of.
So that's actually, I thought that too. There was 72 main concentration camps throughout Germany, and each of those had like varying sizes of microsites. There's 3,500 sites total, but they all fed into a main site, and there was 72 main sites. Dachau was one of those. Was one of the first 4 or 5, and but the lady was saying is like people don't realize. Yes, 6 million Jews died. That's enough to be like totally wrecked by, but because 20 million people died.
Wow.
Like, so there's 6 million, but then there's 14 million people that just died because they opposed the Nazis, or they didn't agree, or they got
a lot
captured.
of gay people were killed in the Holocaust.
If you go to like Manzanar, the Japanese internment camps that like is closest to us, it wasn't just Japanese people on the like executive order. It was anyone of Axis descent. So there were Italians who were in concentration camps. There were Germans who were in concentration camps. But because of where the like coastline was, a vast majority of the people were Japanese.
Wow.
And so, but there were other people of other descents who were also interned.
In Berlin, there's obviously like the main memorial for the Holocaust, and there's this artist that made it's a really interesting structure. It's all these black beams, I guess black rectangles, and they're at varying sizes, and they're built into a crater. So the further you walk in, the quieter and the more isolating it gets. Wow. And at the very center, you can't even hear the street noises around.
Wow.
And so I walked in, and it was like wild, and it was just so many little things about like, again, just like atonement and all that stuff. But then there's a separate memorial for LGBTQIA people that died in like a separate one, because he was saying like when it all came down, like everybody wanted a memorial for their specific thing,
of course,
and the German government tried their best to like, obviously the biggest one is the Jewish memorial for all the people that Jewish people that died, and that was obviously like the significant bigger piece of all that. But again, it's multifaceted. But anyways, there's this coating on these black structures that a company they've hired a company so that they could wash off spray paint, because graffiti is a huge thing out there too, and in a lot of areas it's legal too, which is cool. I thought it was cool, and my dad hated it, and so they coat all this stuff, and then it turns out that the company that makes the coating, like way back when, was the company that engineered the gas for the gas tanks, and so they find this out, and the company's like because of all the turnover, the company doesn't really like. So many people know, but like the people that are in charge now didn't really know that. But so what they did was they
probably an open secret. Probably wasn't
they didn't charge at all for the coating.
I was gonna say,
and they pay and they recode it every 5 years for free, because they're like, we had no idea. It was crazy.
That's not good.
Yeah, very crazy.
But
yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that gets lost to history. Like a lot of the scientists that sent our guys to the moon in NASA were like,
Russians,
ex
Nazis.
German, Nazi scientists and stuff.
Scientists.
And then it was wild too, because like Dachau, you learn that their work camps, and they were I guess the Nazis were basically sending these people to work 14, 15-hour days. To companies, they put them in trucks, and they'd send them to like BMW, Mercedes to make cars for cheap all day.
Crazy.
So some of these we met, and our guide was one of them. She was like, "Yeah, me and my friends, we absolutely will not buy a BMW. Absolutely." And BMW is like the car,
Volkswagen,
right?
I think atonement is like. My parents have a story of going to Denmark to visit family, and they were like, "Oh," and they were spending a day in Germany, and our relatives wouldn't even take them to. They like took them like like across the border, but they wouldn't even take them into Germany. Like they're like, we refuse to go into Germany.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like still, they're
Yeah.
like, no.
And it's illegal to do like the Nazi salute too. Like our guy
Sure.
was like, our guy
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, it's not funny. It's not something you do at all.
Yep.
Like they're like, he's like, if you do that and somebody sees it, you can
Get
literally be arrested,
fined.
and there's like nothing I can do. Like
Mm.
crazy.
I saw this video recently. How it was this guy talking about, it was these two people, and they were talking about slavery in America, and how it was basically like, you know, we have this idea of like slavery in America was solved, right? Like we won the Civil War, and then it was like, oh, and then they freed all the slaves, and like that was the end of it. But in reality, like something like that, where like Nazi Germany was held accountable by the rest of the world, where America was like not held accountable for it at all. And now there's talk about like, you know, reparations for black people and stuff, but essentially they didn't like, it wasn't like, oh, we found out at the end of the Civil War that this is bad. It was like they reluctantly gave up their slaves, and then Jim Crow laws were put into effect, and segregation was put into effect, and like that's why it's like such a different vibe than what you're saying, which is like you go there and everyone's like of one mind, like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Germany was wrong, like the
Yeah.
Nazis were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's crazy. It's one of those things that is like
That's
not.
why we got Nazis here in America.
It's, I mean, really,
Send it back to
honestly,
Argentina, where they were.
isn't that crazy that there's? Isn't
Argentina's
there like
the
a little
only-
German
Yes,
village in
Argentina was
Argentina?
the only country that would openly take them. They said, sure.
I mean,
come
openly.
on in.
Yeah, we took a bunch of them.
Well,
Yeah, because that
but
was another
behind
thing
closed
too.
doors.
There was like some animosity that like he was talking about with Argentina about that, because they were like saying that it was, oh, that's what the guide was saying at Dock House. She's like, yeah, some of the high-ranking Nazis, they went to Argentina, and they're like, why? And they're like, oh, because Argentina, they were looking they just how she put it, and it's true. She said they were looking for strong leaders, and they knew that they could get them by taking old Nazi Reich like leaders.
A lot of big gets there.
Crazy.
No, it's crazy. There's a huge German population in Argentina. And then, yeah, like you go in. I was telling John this. My mom and I watched this whole TV show called like Hitler's Escape. And it was like following the escape plan that they found out that Hitler had. And so it was kind of like, what if
he got
could
away?
he have gotten out of here,
Sure.
like truly? And it was like some top guys from the FBI. And it's on like Discovery Now or whatever, you know, like.
I
and
love that stuff.
It was so, they went to Argentina and they interviewed a bunch of people who were descendants of these high-ranking Nazi people, and they're like, shh, like
Don't tell. That's not
Because that's
good.
what I was telling Annie. I mean, I didn't know this, but like Hitler's, his exit was, and I knew he killed himself in a bunker, but basically the protocol was like he'd go into his room, that he was living in that bunker for years until he finally killed himself, allegedly. And but basically he'd go into his bedroom and they'd wait for a gunshot, and then they'd come in and they burned his body, and they brought it to the top of the bunker, and then they burned him and Ava Brown, his wife, who he married, and their dogs. Like they literally, she was killed by cyanide and the dogs were killed by cyanide. They tested the cyanide on the dogs to
I
make
can't
sure
remember.
it
Was
worked.
that in Schindler's List?
I don't know, but it just
can't remember if
the
Hitler's
burning
death
of the
was in that
body.
movie.
It, to me, goes like
I don't think it was.
it tears it wide open for freaking conspiracy. I'm like, wait, they burned his body. Like nobody saw his dead body. Like you know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
and that's why a lot
That's
of
wild
there's
to
a
me.
lot of,
But
there's
you know
a lot
what?
of
You said
conspiracy.
this. You said this earlier. He's dead now.
Oh yeah, he's like
For
100
sure
and
dead
something.
now.
Yeah.
No matter what, Hitler is dead now.
Unless he's with Walt Disney.
I
Unless he
didn't
frozen head.
know. There's a conspiracy that Hitler didn't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because they
escaped.
burned his body, and so then his
That is just
dentist,
no evidence.
his
because
dentist confirmed it.
God.
And
But
then
it was
Stalin,
his dentist.
Yes.
The Russians took his body.
It was Hitler in a dentist outfit. And he's like, that's definitely Hitler. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, what is he, like Groucho Marx or something? Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That
Okay.
just that doesn't. In my head, I'm like, that's kind of fishy, right?
I want to shelf Hitler for just a minute, and I want to get back to your trip.
probably good. Let's just
That's good.
get rid
Sorry.
of him. Let's dump him.
How did you like traveling abroad? Did you like the tour? Joining the guided
Oh.
tour? Would you do it again? Would
Yeah.
you not do it again?
Yeah, traveling abroad was definitely like a very different experience.
Sure.
Like, the good news is like anywhere you go, and you probably experience this, like high tourist areas, like people know that you're a tourist,
Yeah.
and they can speak English a lot of times, no problem. But like, there were some areas we went into where it was like the language barrier was kind of crazy. Like, they didn't understand English. They didn't care that you didn't speak English.
They weren't trying
they
to
weren't
help you.
trying to help you at all.
Nope.
And it was kind of like in fact, I thought this was odd when we landed in Frankfurt in the airport. We had like 30 minutes before our tour was going to leave, and we're like, oh, we're gonna get coffee. We went to this coffee stand in the airport, and first time we're experiencing, people who don't speak English.
Guten
basically.
Tag.
Which is wild because I'm like, you're in the airport. You think that you'd speak like, or at least be a little more tolerant. These women did not care. They're like, what? I'm saying it in English because I don't know what they're saying in German. But basically, they're like, what I assume they were saying is like, what do you want? And but it was like very harsh in Russian. Like, and then their menu is all like coffee, but it's like cafe caramel. And I was like, oh, can I do a iced cafe caramel? No ice. That was it. No ice.
No ice.
Okay. Can I just
Hot.
do that then, hot? And she goes, you mean a caramel coffee? And I was like,
Yeah.
but it's like she was like annoyed that I was like that I flipped it, but I was reading it off the literally off the menu how they had it,
Cafe
Starbucks.
Carmel.
and I was
Cafe
like,
Caramel.
and then I was like, okay, so then I see the thing come up and it's all in German, like the tip menu, and I just see what I think is no tip, so I just do no tip, but I was just like, and then I was like kind of frustrated. I'm like, but Bobby's like, we're in their country, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Totally.
also like, you're in customer service, and you're in the international airport.
But here's
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
Das
yes.
Starbucks.
But I when I was traveling abroad, I had that same experience where, like, for the most part, especially like in France, like French students take 8 years of English.
Yeah.
Like across the country, they are like enrolled in 8 years English. So basically, everywhere where you went, I was like, "Oh, bonjour," and they go, "Hi, how can we help you?" And I'm like,
You're like, okay.
Yep.
like fine,
Fine.
hi.
There goes
You have
those
to-
2 weeks
you have
of
to
French I
say-
learned.
You can't even say hi. You have to say like your order. You have to get it all out
They're like-
in French or in Italian.
Yeah.
So then they'll
Then they
speak
say,
to you.
Okay.
Bonsoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like one of those things that when I did come across the people who didn't speak a lick of English, I was like, you know what? But like, I should be learning a little bit of their language. I'm walking into their country.
Sure, yeah.
In the same way that like if they were gonna come to like
You don't speak a lick of French.
if they've come here and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I don't speak.
Right,
I don't know what
right.
language you're speaking. I don't know where you're from. I'm trying to help you, but I don't know.
So that piece was hard.
I didn't take French in high school.
Like
That was the piece that I think
Little do
I
they
realized
know.
I wasn't like, I don't know that I'm like eager to go back to a country that doesn't speak English. Just because I'm like, I didn't like the helpless feeling of like being like,
Okay.
oh, I don't know. And I'm like, my brother Bobby does it really well, and he's very good at like trying really hard to communicate, and he's really good at it. And it's not even that like a patience thing. It's just more like I feel dumb most of the time.
Got it.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. That was the piece that was hard. That was like, but towards the end, I didn't even really like. After you get into it, it's like whatever. And like I said, a lot of places were really cool. And like we'd go up and we'd start with like, I don't know, and then they're like, hey, like same thing. And then at the
Hey,
end,
what do you want?
and then I was like, I caught myself like saying thank you, like Dankeschön in German, and they'd be like, no problem. And I'm like, okay, well this is done.
Dankeschön.
And so that was good. Would I do it again? Well, the tour was great. I actually think that if you can afford it and you want to see a country like comprehensively, I think the tour is good.
yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to do your own research, and even then, I feel like,
It's
oh
a
man, we
lot.
were just saved. Like
Yeah.
the tour guide just really helped us a lot, and we got a lot of info.
I would agree. We did a tour of Italy, and I felt the same way where I was like, man, like, if I had gone by myself, I would have done it completely differently, and this saved me so much time and energy, and, like, took me to places I wouldn't have even thought to go see, and, like, were so worth it.
Yeah, and I think that like that personally for me, I'm like, if I were to ever do another country, when I do another country,
When we
do another country, I think it would be fun to do the tour. Honestly,
Sure.
like with the right people, I'll say I think like if I was going with you guys, I think it'd be different. But
Sure.
I was like, and also I'll say I don't know when we were like it was just me and my brothers. A lot of people came up and started talking full German to us, and we were like,
You looked
"Do
like
we
it.
look at-"
They
But then my
sensed
dad
a
would come in,
culture.
and I was like, okay, well we lost it. Like, my dad does not look.
Wait, so who's the German one? He's the German one.
I know. But
Is your mom the German
He looked
one?
very. He is, but he looked very touristy.
I gotta say, loved his hat.
He looked very
I loved
touristy.
the hat. I'll say my big three from your trip
Thank you.
is Bobby's updates on his Instagram. He posts 1 million pictures a day. I loved it. I wanted more.
I know.
I wanted more. Your dad's hat was great. I love that hat. Halfway through your trip, the hat appears. I'm like, I know he got that at a little like dust tourist trap or something.
Yeah.
Dust.
Oh,
Trap.
awesome.
He lost his pottery hat on like the third day, and so he's like,
Poor
he
guy.
didn't have any hat. He left it in a hotel, and so then he's like, I'm gonna get a new hat. So he bought like a gas station, like black, unmarked, like very plain one.
Sure.
But my dad has a big head, so it's like
Right.
it didn't really fit him.
Wasn't
and then
comfortable.
And then randomly we're in Rothenburg and we're like walking around and he just shows up with it. And we're like, where did you get the hat? He goes, oh, I went in there and got the hat. And I was like, how many euros was that?
He's
You
like,
know what I'm
doesn't
saying?
matter.
He's
I don't
like,
know.
"Oh, I don't know, like 40 or 50. I'm like, that's crazy.
My other big get from your trip is this picture right here. There's John having a great time. You guys remember what John's brother Dave looks like? There he is.
My brother.
He looks like he fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like
He's
celebrating
having
maybe.
flashbacks.
Yes.
It was, and then I don't know, it's
So
hard to explain,
funny.
but like, it was my brother, it was my dad. And so I'm like, we were just like chipping at each other the
Yep.
whole time,
Yeah.
like giving each other crap the whole time. And then it was like, one of us would crash out and the other two would like pile on. And then, it was just, it was a lot of fun though. And we had a deck of cards the entire time, and we were
Awesome.
playing all different games like Trash. We were playing, 31.
Das Golf.
And they don't know golf, and then they wouldn't like golf.
No,
But
they wouldn't like it.
we had a good time.
Long-winded.
Smoked their
A
asses.
couple of train rides, mostly bus rides, and then it was a lot of fun, man. It was great.
So fun. Ah, it
Like,
makes me want to go.
trains
It makes me
and
want to go.
Are you glad to be back in the U.S. of A?
Yeah, I'll say when we got back, we flew into Seattle, and we were in Seattle
doesn't
for
count.
an hour or something. But I literally started it took a long time to develop my brain that like, oh, I'm reading English again, and I'm like I'm around people who like fully understand me, because I'm like, for so long I just got used to just like not really paying attention to the fact that like every menu is in a different is in German basically. And then now I looking around, I was like, oh, like I can read everything on
You're
the
like,
menu now.
oh, sorry. Like I'm just so used to reading German.
Let me tell you,
Obnoxious.
my
So
obnoxious
my
person who just
Amazon
traveled.
account
Uh-huh.
switched to Spanish
Whoa.
the other day.
That was today.
It was actually a couple days ago, and I just told you about it today.
What?
It literally.
You only figured it out today?
I was like, because it was on our registry link. It wasn't on our Amazon app. It was through like Babylist. So every time I go to Amazon through Babylist, it was in Spanish. And I was like, why is it in Spanish? What the heck is going on? So I had to like go through and try and find where
How
to
did that
switch the
happen?
link. I don't know.
You took 4 years of Spanish. That didn't help.
Well, I found it.
Oh.
So take that.
Well,
Like that.
I'll tell you this, John, and maybe you didn't feel this because you were in a foreign country. We just went to Hawaii. We got back from Hawaii a couple weeks ago. The last day of our trip, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home. Like,
Yes.
let's go check in, see what everybody's doing. The first day we get back, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back. Like, screw this. I love vacation. Home sucks. I don't know if you feel that, but
No, I feel that. It was I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was a long trip. It was 13 days away from little guy, so
well,
Aw,
I
the
bet.
baby.
Wow, I forgot about
And
that.
Father's
you'll
Day.
feel that.
Yeah, your son.
Oh,
you missed
yeah.
Father's Day. Damn. Well, speaking of feeling that, hi everybody. This show is brought to you by
America.
Patreon. Whoop whoop.
America.
Big shout out to our Patreon supporters, guys. For $4 a month, you can become a Patreon supporter.
Our Patriots.
You can become a What the Patriot.
What the
That's right. Name of the
Our
episode.
Patriots.
Head on down to the link in the bio. You can watch the post show. You get access to that post show. $4 a month. Support the show. Watch
Come
the
on,
post
Phil.
show. It's like an extra episode of the podcast every single week. It's pretty great. We're gonna jump
truth.
right into that right now. So we're gonna say thank you so much. Goodbye to everyone listening and watching. If you made it to the end, leave a comment below. In the booth, as always, Cara Tafolla and the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on What the Podcast.
Become a Patriot.
Ooh, Das Podcast.
We spent a lot of the 4th of July episode talking about
Hitler.
Hitler. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's how it happens. Anything you want to say that's patriotic, Annie?
Go ahead.
No, me neither.
Let's put more preservatives in our
Start
food.
your engines. What's that little thing they do?
Gentlemen.
Start your engine.
That's great.
And then they shoot a gun in the air.